Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about Doctor Who and what other kind of Doctor Who merchandise do you enjoy? Like, outside of collecting just, say, the DVDs, the Blu-rays, or even the books or the comics, what kind of other Doctor Who merchandise do you purchase or do you enjoy? Because like Doctor Who, like most shows, you know, they have all sorts of merchandise products out there they sell. They have Doctor Who action figures, Doctor Who puzzles, Doctor Who coloring guides, or coloring books, or whatever you want to call them. Board games, Doctor Who themed cards, trading cards. What kind of Doctor Who stuff do you get into? Now, recently, my boss actually got me a couple Doctor Who figures as a belated Christmas present, which I enjoyed. He got me 2 Fourth Doctor figures, which I showed off in an unboxing video about that. And I don't know if I ever really mentioned the figures I have. I have a few figures. They're a little harder to find here in the US these days. I have a 5th Doctor, War Doctor, 2nd Doctor, and 10th Doctor. 10th Doctor just in his standard brown striped suit. I'd love to get some more of the 10th Doctor, especially him with his trench coat. I'd love to have one with him in his trench coat. I'd love to get some more figures of the Doctor and maybe a few of the Daleks. That'd be cool. But I do enjoy those. They look nice. The company that makes those, they put out a really good product. But I mean, we have, you know, Doctor Who board games. There's probably a Doctor Who Monopoly. I don't know if I've ever seen it, but there's probably a Doctor Who Monopoly. So there are Doctor Who themed board games, or like a deck of cards that's Doctor Who themed. I don't know if that's ever been done. I'd love to have a deck of cards that's Doctor Who themed, especially if it's classic and modern Who themed. You know, not just modern Who themed. I'd enjoy that. There's Magic the Gathering cards with Doctor Who. That's pretty interesting. I haven't played Magic the Gathering probably since the mid-2000s, but I used to play back in the day. I've still got a bunch of cards from like the late 90s, mid-2000s. I need to sell one of these days. But we have Magic the Gathering Doctor Who cards. That's pretty cool. You can get plates and mugs. I'd love a good Doctor Who mug if it was witty. Like something clever and witty for a Doctor Who mug. I would love that. If you know one of those, send me one of those. I'd love to get one of those. I like Doctor Who shirts. You have Doctor Who memorabilia. Socks. Love to get some Doctor Who socks. And different shirts. I have 1 or 2 Doctor Who shirts I still wear in videos occasionally. I think I probably only have 1 at this point. I had 3. I think 2 of them have just gotten so worn down over the years. And you guys know I keep shirts forever. That I honestly, I think eventually had to throw them out. I think I've still got 1. One of my exes gave me, who I still stay in touch with, gave me. Love to get some more Doctor Who shirts. I love Doctor Who shirts. But I love all of these different forms of media that you can get with Doctor Who. You know, Doctor Who video games. There's not a whole lot of them. Not really good ones, but I like the fact there are Doctor Who video games. Now, I stick more with the Blu-ray collection, the animations, you know, the main stuff we get physically. I have other hobbies, toy-wise, I tend to collect, like my Blockies Transformers here. This is a growing set. I have the limited edition Wave 1 Chase Optimus I might have, and I have the Shining Wave 2 Chase Optimus right down here out of camera range. I absolutely love these Blockies Transformers, though. This isn't a paid advertisement. I just really love these things. They're great. They're so articulated and a very high detail for the money they cost. So since I have other hobbies, Transformers, I also love Thundercats and stuff like that. I tend to collect more into that when it comes to figures, but I wouldn't mind getting some more Doctor Who figures. I need at least a couple of Daleks. But, you know, I'm always fascinated by what people like to collect, like a couple of the box sets that have Emily Cook when she goes and looks at people's Doctor Who collections. That's always fascinating to me to see what people collect and what they like. Like, I had a little plushy Dalek that when you squeeze it would say things like, exterminate. And it's adorable. And it's saying exterminate. I had one of those floating around. Doctor Who pop figures. Another big one. I mean, they make pop figures of everything. So there's definitely Doctor Who pop figures. I remember buying, this was probably about 10 years ago, a girl I was dating who was also a big Doctor Who fan. I've talked about her on the channel before. She had gotten, I think, the Capaldi one, and I think the David Tennant one, so I bought her the Tom Baker one, and she really liked it, and yeah. So there's Doctor Who pop figures. I like when a franchise I like has so many different options for people who like to collect different things. You know, if you want to collect or build a life-size Dalek, you can do that. I've seen a life-size Dalek at conventions. Matter of fact, I was cosplaying, again, this was about 11 years ago, actually. I was cosplaying as the 9th Doctor, and I turn around, and there's this life-size Dalek barreling down right on me, because he realized I was the 9th Doctor. And it's just like right there, and I'm like, ah! And the guy who built it was great. He was dressed as the 11th Doctor, and he could remote control it, which was so cool. And at one point, he even had it wearing like a Tom Baker scarf and fedora. And it was really funny because the convention, it's a convention in Alabama called CamiCon. And the two people who started it, Ray and I cannot remember his wife's name, who started it, they actually had their wedding where they got married at the convention that year. And the Dalek was the flower girl. They had the Dalek as the flower girl. It is fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. So I like the fact that there's just so many possibilities with this franchise. There's so much you can do with Doctor Who that I really, really like that. You know, they make Doctor Who sets that come with TARDISes. You can get a little TARDIS for your diorama. You could have all the Doctors standing out there in a multi-Doctor story with their TARDISes behind them, with their companions. Wouldn't mind getting a few of the companions. I really should update the wish list, I guess, at some point. Oh, and how could I have forgotten about sonic screwdrivers? Sonic screwdrivers! Of course! Sonic screwdriver replicas. Ah, that's a big thing in Doctor Who. I absolutely love sonic screwdrivers. I have the 4th Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the 11th Doctor, and the 13th Doctors. The 13th Doctor was actually a piece of fan mail. Steven sent that. The biggest piece of fan mail I have ever gotten. It was a big one from somebody named Steven. And he sent a second one as well. I hope he still watches the channel. I've never actually found out who it was. I never found out what their username was. But they sent me these huge boxes. I really appreciate Steven sending them. One of the things he sent was the 13th Doctor Sonic, which I like the 13th Doctor Sonic. I do. I'd love to get more of them. I want a 14th Doctor Sonic so bad. If anyone wants to send that, I want a 14th Doctor one. But I'd love to get any of the others. I've never gotten Capaldi's. I've never gotten Pertwee's or McGann's or the War Doctors. I'd love to get any of those if anyone wants to send them. But yeah, Sonics. Sonics are a huge deal for marketing and for selling. They have the regular ones. They have the limited editions. They have some that are so high-tech they can actually turn TVs on and off. Oh, a convention I was at. I actually had a guy who was cosplaying as Matt Smith. And he loved walking around with the Matt Smith remote, and he would just randomly turn off TVs when people were playing games, which is terrible, absolutely terrible. But they'd be playing like Smash Brothers, and he'd just be over there. It was absolutely hilarious. I mean, terrible, of course, but hilarious. I was just kind of in the mood. I'm in a really good mood today. So I really just kind of wanted to talk about all the different things. And I'm kind of curious what everybody else collects. So I guess I'll wrap that up there. What do you collect from Doctor Who outside of main, just like, say, the Blu-rays and DVDs and, the books? What's your thing that gets you excited about Doctor Who outside of the normal? Be it the figures, the board games, the video games, the pop figures. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. If you're into Transformers, check out these Blockies Transformers. It's Blokkees, Blockies. They're really nice. You assemble them kind of like Legos. They're pretty awesome. Check those out. You can check out their actual website. Just type in Blockies. It'll take you to it. But I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons: Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Unknown289, Finn Perkins, and Paul Gibbons. Gibbons. I have enough names. I have to keep up now. It takes me a second. I love that. That's fantastic. More names. Give me more names to say at the end of videos. I love that. I appreciate their support as I do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. All of my YouTube members as well. I really, really appreciate you all. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. I also have my Amazon wish list down there and my Amazon UK wish list down there as well. Make sure you check those out. And most importantly, thank you for watching.